Good afternoon, guys, and happy Thursday to all of your sunshiny faces. So I've got a Tony's haul to share with you guys for today. My dad ended up going, he ended up stopping on his way after work. Caputo's, they had like 2, maybe 3 things that were like kind of worth doing. They did have provolone cheese on sale. I think it was a pretty good sale, like $2.99 a pound. They also had tomatoes, I think, were 99 cents a pound, and I think there was like one other thing, but it was still like not stuff that we like really needed like that badly that I was like, oh, like we definitely need to go there and pick that up, or you know, whatever. So I was just like, again, there was a good amount of stuff to get at Tony's, sort of, so I was like, just go there. The only thing my dad did not pick up was the 2 liters. They had the like 7-Up 2 liters, 7-Up like Dr. Pepper, that kind of stuff. However, my dad said again they had no diet or like the 0 sugar stuff, which is what my mom and Jack drank mainly, and I don't really drink, I actually really honestly have not drank pop in a pretty long time. Like I think I had a Coke maybe somewhat recently, and I think I had a Pepsi like a month ago. I really haven't had any pop, so I typically don't really drink the 2 liters. Like again, if there's one that's open I might, but like I don't really like Dr. Pepper anyway, and I might have 7-Up, like I said, if it happens to be open. But because they haven't had any of the non like 0 sugar diet pops or anything like that, we've been stocking up on that stuff anyway. But my dad's like, this is like the 3rd week now, not in a row, I think, again, over the course of somewhat recently. But I was also thinking, I was like, oh well, we could also get some of that for the holidays. Like I think we're going over to my aunt's for Thanksgiving, and I was like, oh, we could definitely bring the drinks, which is again always a nice thing to have like extras of when you get it so cheap. So I was like, oh well, we can bring that, right? But I was like, again, too, the fact that there's no 0 sugar anything, like you know, we have some that we could bring with, but I was like, you know, so my dad was like, are you sure, do you really want me to pick up more? And I was like, no, just pass on it. So they did have them, it was just they didn't have really the variety that we kind of probably would have picked up, or picked up a lot of. Like my mom drinks a lot of diet 7-Up, but she drank a lot of it, and like we don't have any more. You know, I mean, we do have some, like I was saying, but you know, like she's drinking it and we're not stocking back up because they haven't had that in stock. So unfortunately, that was the only thing we didn't pick up. I told my dad it was gonna be around 30 bucks, and even buying those we probably would have been just a little bit over with tax. But all in all, again, they had some pretty good deals, and for what we paid, I think we did pretty well. So I'll share that with you guys for today, what we got at Tony's. It was a good amount of like grocery stuff in general. Like they had a lot of different sales. I'm kind of wondering if it was like a pre-Thanksgiving kind of sale sort of thing, and that was why. But again, I will share that with you guys and all of those deals that were going on. I think we might have Meijer. I should have that tomorrow. The thing is, my dad, he was like, well, I'll stop at Tony's on the way home because it'll, you know, be easier to stop there than to go to Meijer today, because he had something that was going on. And it turns out that, again, that we had a whole bunch of other stuff that ended up happening sort of today. And like my mom went to go get the mail, and then there was a whole bunch of other stuff that happened, and it was just, now my dad's like, well, you know, like it was a good thing we didn't choose to go to Meijer today and he went to Tony's instead, but like he needed to get some of his stuff done and taken care of, and then we had this whole other stuff happen. So yeah, anyways, but we should still be going to Meijer tomorrow, so I should have that haul for you guys. But I will share with you guys what my dad ended up picking up at Tony's for today. So right here on the table, this was what we ended up picking up, or my dad, like I said, picked up from Tony's. And again, it looks like all the coupons came off and everything like that. Total for all these items was $26.63, and it does look like, see, I think that the coupon only took off once for the oh no, I think it took off twice for like the blackberries and blueberries. So those were, and this might have been the way it took off last week, I'm not entirely sure. We'll start with that deal. So the blackberries and the blueberries, the 6-ounce packages, were 99 cents each. They were a limit of 2 total, I believe. Last week, however, it said limit 4, so I had my dad pick up 2 blueberries and 2 blackberries. Well, the coupon only took off on like, I think, the blackberries and not on the blueberries. But it shows on the receipt, it says that it was just for blackberries, but it looks like it actually took off twice. So I think they're $2.99, but then a $2 coupon comes off. So in total, it says blackberries minus $4. So I think that the $4 coupon took off like $2 from each. But again, too, it reads blackberry blueberries. But like last week, I think the same thing happened, but I think that was really a limit of 2 and not a limit of 4. So when my dad picked up 2 of each, the coupon didn't come off on the other one. But again, too, I could mix and match. That was kind of why I was testing it out this week, and it does look like that's true. However, the limit last week I think was actually similar to what the limit this week was, where it was a limit of 2 total instead of a limit of 4 total. And so like I said, I split that and bought 2 of each, and then I thought, oh, the blueberries like weren't included in the sale because the coupon didn't come off, but it just rings up as like blueberries or as blackberries with the coupon that comes off, even though I bought 2 of the, you know, individual different berries. So again, that's a little bit confusing, but 99 cents for that is awesome. So we went ahead and picked up both of those. They also had the cereals, which I realized I flipped that box around. It was actually on the wrong side. That was, they were 99 cents as well. You did have to buy 2 with the digital coupon. So we picked up 2 of those and got them for just 99 cents, which is a really awesome price. We've been actually getting a lot of deals on cereal lately, which is also really awesome. They also had the Prince pasta, which was on sale for 88 cents. It was a limit of 2 with the digital coupon, so we picked up 2 of those. They also had the oranges. I think you didn't have to buy 2. You might have. I know that there was one other item, and I think that was the cheese, where you did have to buy in multiples in order to get them at that price, but I'm not sure if the pasta was part of that. The oranges were $1.99 for a 3-pound bag, which is a really good price. It's about 67 cents per pound, and they were a limit of 3. I just picked up 1. You don't have to buy 3 to get them at that price with the coupon. Like I said, I think that was only the cheese and possibly the cereals, but we did just pick up 1 of those. The avocados were $1.99, a limit of 2 5-count bags. We picked up 2 of those, ended up getting that for just, again, $1.99 each, limit 2 with those digital coupons. They also had the Polish ham, the Tony's Polish ham, which was on sale. Originally it's $5.99 a pound. However, the coupon actually, it took $2 off even, so this was $4.05 because it's $3.99 a pound. So again, we got just a little over a pound, so that was what the price was for that. The apples, those were 99 cents a pound. The Honeycrisp apples, which is a really good price for Honeycrisp apples, and they were a limit of, there was no limit, and it wasn't with a coupon, it was just like regular sale price. So those ended up being, it was a little under 3 pounds, so it was $2.67 for that. And then they also had the cheese, which was the Dutch Farm cheese. It's the smaller cup and 3/4, which is frustrating to me because the smaller size ones like this, they used to always be in a 2-cup count, and now it's a little bit less than that. Like, what if the recipe that you're making calls for 2 cups? Like, because normally it's not like 1 1/3/4 cup of cheese. Like, I know it's pretty close, but like still it's a little bit annoying that, you know, they shrunk the size on it and you can't buy, like, if you could just buy in like 1 cup count or whatever, like that's different, but like make it a whole number, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, that's just frustrating to me. Anyways, those are you know, the size shrinkage. Those are $1.49. Now I do believe this is part of the like 4-day sale or something like that. I think it runs Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But though they're $1.49 when you buy 3 with the digital coupon, which is a pretty decent price for that. And normally that's when I stock up on like a different type. Like normally we can get regular cheddar cheese and mozzarella cheese like in a big bulk package pretty cheap, but a lot of times other varieties of cheese we can't. So that's why a lot of times when I see a deal like this where I can buy the smaller packages, that's why normally I will pick those up. But again, for $1.49, I thought that was a pretty good deal. So that was everything. Like I said, it was just a little bit over 25 bucks for everything, which I think was pretty good. Like I said, for what we got, I think was a pretty good amount of, like, they had some good produce deals. They also had, again, some of those, you know, kind of like staple pantry type, you know, grocery trip shopping, you know, type stuff like pasta and cheese and deli meat and cereals and like that kind of thing. Plus, again, too, they surprisingly, I don't normally get a ton of produce at Tony's, but they did have a pretty good amount. And like I said, it seemed like they were kind of having like a like Thanksgiving sort of sale. They also had like Thanksgiving turkey, like that kind of stuff as well. Like I was saying, I think that the sales maybe, even though they weren't geared specifically for Thanksgiving, like not a lot of like cereal, you don't normally buy that for Thanksgiving, but like a lot of the stuff that it seemed like they had was kind of to like, I don't know, like just more sales than they normally do, and I think that might be because the holidays coming up. So anyways, I'm gonna get this stuff put away. I thought I'd just share that with you guys and what we picked up there. Also, we got a coat of primer on in the bedroom, the one that we're painting right now. We have the first coat on in there, but unfortunately it wasn't dry before the sun went down to be able to get the second coat on, so we only got one coat on today, which does stink a little bit. We were trying to aim for 2 a day, but what we might try and do is try and finish painting the ceiling first so we can get the lights back installed in there, and then once that is installed we can actually paint everything else into the evening, you know, or when it starts to get dark. When it gets dark we can really not do anything because we can't see what we're painting. So that's why we have to kind of work when the sun's out, and today again we were really only able to get one coat on before because it was taking a long time to dry. Like Jack went back in there to check and he was like, it's still not dry, and we still painted somewhat earlier today. I think Jack started at like maybe 11 o'clock or something like that, which wasn't super early, but like I think he got up at like maybe 10 or 9 something, and then like had breakfast, went and started painting. And then by the time we went to go and check again, like before again, because it starts to get dark at like 4 now, and so by that time, you know, we were like, okay, I think he checked like around 2 o'clock maybe or something like that, or maybe it was like 3 or something, and he's like, it's still wet. So we were like, yeah, probably can't get another coat on today, but we are moving in the right direction with one coat already. So anyways, like I said, I'm gonna get this all put away. I thought I'd just share with you guys what was going on at Tony's for today. Well guys, I'm gonna take a shower now and get to bed. I should have a grocery haul, either Jewel or Meijer's tomorrow. I was assuming Meijer, but the app is like not wanting to load. So I finished everything with Jewel, and it's not just the app that doesn't want to load, it's like the coupons don't want to load. So I finished Jewel's, and there's not that much to get, so we might just go to Jewel tomorrow and then maybe do Meijer on Saturday, even though I don't like doing it the last day of the sale. But it seemed like maybe it was working like right when I was about ready to go and get ready to take a shower. I tried it one more time, so I'll see when I get out of the shower if it works or not. But yeah, I don't know why it was like not loading. So again, I will have some haul tomorrow, but which store I'm not sure. But I'm not looking forward to taking a shower, washing my hair right now, because when we were painting I was doing all of the I primed the windows, I did like the corners and like at this around the ceiling and everything like that, and I was carrying the paint bucket with me and my arm, like it wasn't even really that full, but like my arm, like I can't like lift it like very high right now. And it made more sense to like carry the paint bucket with me instead of like going and getting, you know, paint back on the brush again every single time. So I was like, I'll just carry the bucket with me. And it wasn't, like I said, wasn't even really that full, but it was like, yeah, I can't like lift my arm. It's like my arm, like I can't, like even just like this, I'm like my arm, it just feels so sore. So anyways, it's gonna be fun to try and get my hair clean tonight. But I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give the gold thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.